Alrighty, what is up guys? Welcome back. Evan Aldo here. If you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel and check out my exclusive Discord down below. Now, let's get into the analysis. The first thing I want to talk about, kind of a monthly perspective here. I mean, we just had Powell, sound really hawkish. The odds right now are favored. I think it's 2/3, around 60-70% think that we're going to have a 50 basis point rate hike. That's going to be the next one. And usually they get it right. Usually those probabilities get it right. And that's going to be rough for the market. That's going to be rough for the market. And I think that if we're going to have kind of a drop down, a big drop down, it's probably going to happen, within the next 2 months here. And if you look at kind of what I want to start out on Bitcoin, this is going to be a Bitcoin update. I'll talk about Ethereum, some of the alts, NASDAQ, S&P 500, DXY as well. Important video, stick around. What we're looking at right here, you have kind of a higher anchor wave here on the 8-day, and higher wave, right? Not a real high anchor wave, but higher than a trigger wave in between here. Last time we had, ones at this level, obviously this was bull run, you came up higher, but in terms of a big drop down, that was your pandemic right there, pretty decent drop down right there, and then I'm not thinking that we're going to come down that much, but I think this could be a trajectory down of something like this. Maybe compare it to, you could even compare it to this trajectory right here. This was, similar level to that correction. And then, this would bring you right back down to 17. So I do think if we map it out kind of like this, within the next, by the end of the month, sometime in April, within the next 3 to 6 weeks, you can be at these areas. There's decent potential to be back around between 17 to 20K, back to that range. In that amount of time. And what I think also, let's look at the 7-day I was keeping an eye on, kind of the same thing. 7-day would be a little bit worse, splitter size red dot, and I think you're going to see a trajectory downward. I think you're going to see a decent trajectory downward. These were all pretty decent drops. Even if it's slower here, we're kind of due for a decent drop downward, maybe something like this, something of this nature, right? That's right down to 17, 16K. Pretty soon. It may take longer. I don't know exactly, when you're going to drop down. It's a little bit tough to say, but with everything happening, it does seem like you're going to go down. So let's look at some of these, lower time frames here. Just to reiterate a few things here. Very splitter size on the 4-day here. The only time we've really seen anything close to this, these look worse here because you got the bearish div. The only time you've seen something close to us was this big drop down. So I think you're getting into that place. I think you're getting into that place where the big drop down is going to happen. Now, you're looking at the daily. This has mainly been kind of the bullish case. A lot of people have been talking about a hidden, bullish div that could appear here. We don't even have it appearing yet. It didn't confirm, so it doesn't mean anything too much to me yet. Money flow is coming out. Your RSIs are now curving down again. I don't think this is going to play out very bullishly. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to play out too bullish. And now you have, 12-hour red dot. I think it could be a little bit more severe. That trajectory downward into, next 5 days is absolutely possible. Down to, where would that be? 20K, you're at 20K there. Some jump off of 20K, 19K, somewhere around there. Come back up a little bit, and then you come down farther into end of the month, early April. That's a big, prediction downward there. And, if you look at kind of, this money flow is coming up. So short term, money flow coming up, we got double blood diamonds right here. That's normally pretty bad. Double blood diamonds. The blood diamonds haven't been as strong on the 4-hour as they historically have been. Here, you came up. That wasn't really much. But here, some of them do play out. I think it could be more, more something of that nature, just downward to, 21.2 maybe in the next 2 days or something. So I'm kind of looking at more of the bearish case. Here. And if we look at lower time frames, not too much. Not too much is that bullish. You do have money flow kind of getting deep here. May start to curve up, get like a bullish div in the 15 to bring you back up. So there is that potential. What I could also see happening potentially is a jump back up, maybe to 22.7 or something to get every bit of average shorting, then come back down. So in terms of some places to potentially enter a trade, if this confirms on the 10-hour, 12-hour, if that confirms, those would be good places to be looking to enter, a potential swing or something. Also, when the weekly does confirm in 5 days, to enter a potential swing short. That's more of on the macro, more of a long-term thing. Let's move on to, just the last thing I want to say about, Bitcoin real quick. This, you probably saw this trajectory downward. I can see this trajectory downward for more of a macro perspective. Also based on what you're seeing, based on the 2-week, this is coming out. I kind of think you're going to repeat something like this, something like that red dot in the 2-week, that trajectory after our 2019 rally. I think this is just a more minor rally because it's, we're going into recession. It's just not, Fed hiking rates. A lot of things are happening. More of a minor mini bull run or whatever, mini bull area, not a bull market or bull run, but bull area. And then you kind of, come down back to these kind of areas. That's the high there of that one. I think the low is going to be somewhere around here in mid to late 2023. So let's look at ETH, and I think ETH is going to get hit harder than Bitcoin. This is my trajectory, for the kind of the short term based on this 8-hour here. So you got the red dot and the 8-day, excuse me. And I think this trajectory, if Bitcoin goes down to, between 17K and 20K, I think this is going to go down to around 1,100 here. And this could happen by the end of the month into sometime in April. It's hard to say exactly, but I think that's the main trajectory we're looking at right now. And if we look at some of these, time frames, especially the 5-day, I've looked at this a lot. Your RSIs are coming back up now, but they're getting really split. And especially, you already confirmed that bearish div there. Money flow is coming up, but I don't think it means too much there. Also, if you look at like 3-day money flow starting to curve back out, daily money flow starting to curve back out, blood diamond, you got double blood diamonds and regular candles there. And then these RSIs, I think they're just going to keep coming down. And I think you're going to get a good trajectory down to, you may mess around. You got a lot of areas at, 1,300, but I'm kind of looking at more towards this area. Now, it could take longer than March 30th, but I'm kind of looking more towards that area right now. Also, money flow coming out in the 8-hour here. Your 4-hour, these are starting to kind of come up with the money flow, but it doesn't mean too much to me. Sure, like I mentioned with Bitcoin, there's absolutely the case. There's always, going to be a bullish case to come up a little bit higher, get everybody out who's shorting, and then kind of come down. I could see that potentially happening, but with the fear, with the rate hikes or whatever, 50 basis points, that's going to kind of rattle the market. That ain't, it's not too light. And Powell he was pretty snarky. He's pretty hawkish, sounded very hawkish. I didn't watch all of it, but sounding more hawkish, sounding like he's going to be fierce here, and it's probably going to be 50 basis points. Maybe not. Maybe the masses are wrong here, but yeah. And we can just look at a few of the altcoins, good potential swing shorts. I don't know if it's going to be this much of a trajectory down unless we're going to kind of zero on this, but this blood diamond on the weekly on Crow, on Crypto.com token, that looks bad. Cardano, we'll look at just really quick. That's confirmed. Red dot right there. I think the trajectory downward is going to be pretty severe here. And I think that a lot of these are really going to get hit hard against Bitcoin. And I want to just look at Bitcoin dominance here. And you got the bearish dip on the weekly, but I think we're going to kind of turn around and start to come up a bit here. You do have some blood diamonds, but I think it's going to turn around. I think this monthly is going to bring us up higher here into some type of this trajectory. A lot of people ask me, when's the time to buy alts? Probably around here, probably like end of year would be most likely. Sometime between summer this year and early 2024 is probably going to be the sweet spot for alts. To go back to, to go to the NASDAQ. The thing here, what I think, NASDAQ as a P500, this 8-day looks as bad as possible. I think you got to be looking into at least, piercing the red in the 8-day before you want to even think about being hitting the bottom here. And I think that ultimately here's a decent trajectory that we could see into May, testing, 9,800, finally testing kind of 10K and testing the pre-pandemic numbers right here. So I think that's what we're going to look at. Same thing for the S&P 500. If you look at the 8-day here, I think you're finally going to start to really come back down. The 8-day, this looks as bad as possible. Trigger wave, money flow coming out, so looks really bad. I think you're going to see these markets get hit hard in the lower low. And then finally, this is when I think they're going to admit we're in a recession into, March or to April into May. Probably not this month, but probably April, May. It's hard to say how long they could, kind of deter from it. But I think once you make a lower low here, they're going to kind of have to admit we're in a recession. Once you're in pre-pandemic areas, they're going to have to admit it. And that could, that could drag on. That may not be until the summer. But I kind of think it's going to be a little bit sooner, probably April, May. And if you look at the DXY here, really bullish 2-week, trigger wave. I think this is going to bring us up, in the next, by the summer, you can see 114 again, these areas again, that could really hit all the markets pretty hard here. And then I think you're ultimately going to top out somewhere around 128. It could be as late as June 2024. Keep in mind, the S&P 500 and Bitcoin could bottom out before this tops out. Theoretically, that's happened before, like in the 1980s. So that absolutely could happen. So just keep that in mind. So don't get scared because the trajectory of coming up to 2024. It doesn't mean you have to wait that long to get into the market. Not necessarily. Not financial advice, obviously. Guys, I do have an exclusive Discord. We've been doing really well. I can't show you the trades right now. There's a few that are still open. I am in a short trade that's doing really well on Bitcoin. Actually, 2 short trades. One that was locked in profits from last week. Another newer one that's doing pretty well right now. And then I do have a lot of swing shorts like on altcoins, on Ethereum in there as well if you guys are interested. Exclusive TA on the S&P 500, NASDAQ, that type of stuff as well. So if you're interested, link in the description below. Also, guys, if you're interested, this is a promo. If you're interested in trading MEXC, BITGET, if you sign up to any of those exchanges down below and deposit $100 or more, at least $100, I will give you 1 free month in my exclusive Discord. Just shoot me a DM on Discord with your UID used to sign up or your email used to sign up, and I will get you access for a month. And yeah, guys, those are really good promos down below. MEXC is the best promo right now. Really low, no limit fees, really low maker fees. So check that out if you're interested. And yeah, only with my link. And there's doing a $500 giveaway with somebody who signs up with my link down below. So it is a really, really good promo. I think this is one of the best promos I ever have negotiated for you guys. So don't miss out. All right, guys, have a good one. Goodbye.